Hello, and welcome to the first episode of my new podcast, Inspiring Women Leaders, the show about great leadership by women for everyone, where we showcase inspiring women leaders and aim to be inspiring both other women leaders and our fellow male leaders. My name's Adam Harrison, and I'm the creator and host of the show. I'm a medical doctor, medical educator, ex-medical director, qualified lawyer, and certified life, leadership, and executive coach. As a result of my personal experiences, I now specialize in coaching doctors and other professionals who are burning or burnt out, thinking of a career transition, want to develop their leadership skills, or just need their confidence strengthening or their mindset shifting from negative to positive. As a victim of multiple episodes of workplace bullying in toxic workplace cultures myself over the years, my passions are working with professionals who've experienced workplace bullying to help rebuild and reinforce their confidence, and working with organizations to help detoxify their cultures and bring kind, human-centered leadership into those workplaces. Please reach out to me if you feel I may be able to help you or your organization and its leaders. In this episode, I will explain why I created this podcast, who it's for, what I hope listeners will get out of it, and what the format of the show will be. So, firstly, why did I start this podcast? Well, I first had the idea for it in around August to September 2019, when my family and I were living in Darwin, Australia, having moved there in July 2019 for my wife's year-long surgical fellowship. I was chatting to a friend of mine, British family physician and wellbeing expert, Dr. Helen Garr, telling her about all the amazing female leaders, in addition to her, that it had been my great fortune and privilege to have worked with or got to know in other ways, for example, through coaching courses I'd done over recent years. At that time, I was thinking about creating and hosting a conference for these incredible women to come along and speak about their brilliant leadership styles. But the pandemic arrived 6 months later, and we had to stay in Darwin for an extra 6 months, so the planning for that idea took a back seat. I never lost that desire to share those women's stories and wisdom, though. And being away from the rat race back home and living in one of the most relaxed places on earth enabled me to spend time on reflection that I wouldn't normally have had. It occurred to me, putting the fantastic female leaders I know to one side for a moment, that we don't really need to look any further afield than our own families for some examples of exceptional female leadership. I've been surrounded by strong, resilient, resourceful, compassionate women my whole life. For example, my wife is a woman of colour and fearsome mama lioness, yet kind, caring surgeon who's been respected by all her colleagues, clinical and non-clinical alike, for her inclusivity and team-centeredness in every unit she's worked in over the years. My mum is an extremely mentally resilient woman who, while holding down 3 jobs simultaneously at one point, brought my sisters and me up with tenderness and enough love to fill each of us up and have some to spare, which more than made up for the lack of money and material items we had. My sisters, who lived through my mum and stepfather's turbulent marriage with me, have both managed, despite that, to go on to become successful professionals and happy family-orientated women. And then there are my young daughters, the next generation, who never cease to inspire, amuse, educate, and challenge me in equal measure every day. They are who I'm really creating this podcast for. I'd love to be able to look back at the end of my life and say that I genuinely feel I made some small impact in my own corner of the world to help women achieve the gender equality they deserve and make the workplace a kinder, less toxic place to be for people like my daughters and nieces and all the other daughters and sisters out there. As a male ally, I've learned so much about strong, kind, human-centered leadership and overcoming adversity from my female mentors, as well as gaining insight into my own leadership failures and successes. With my male privilege, I'll never be able to fully empathize with my female colleagues. And with my white male privilege, despite being married to a British Pakistani woman, I will never fully understand the challenges women of color face in their day-to-day work. This is why I feel it's so essential to get their voices heard and why I want to highlight the amazing lessons we can learn from them. At a time when we're generally seeing good leadership in the world severely lacking, I think my guests' experiences and skills are too rich a treasure trove not to share with aspiring and upcoming leaders, both female and male. Although most of my guests will be female physicians, purely because of the circles I mix in, there will also include some non-physicians from time to time, and I'm very open to people reaching out to me with suggestions for remarkable future guests, so please message me. So, who is the podcast for? In short, It's for everyone. As the strapline says, it's the podcast about great leadership by women for everyone. It's a podcast exclusively about leadership by women, but it's not for women only. All of us, regardless of gender, age, career, or position, will learn something about ourselves and our self-leadership, how to respond to challenges in our lives, and how to lead better by listening to the show. And if you don't consider yourself to be a leader, I challenge you to reflect on this. Do you have anyone in your life that looks to you for support or guidance? Do you have any kind of responsibility? Are you a parent or carer, a colleague or fellow student that helps others? If so, then you are a leader. If you're not sure about that, think hard, for within your role, there will almost certainly be a leadership aspect. What do I hope listeners will get out of listening to my podcast? Well, I hope my listeners will get to know some of the amazing female leaders I'll be interviewing, gain an insight into some of the challenges female professionals face on their route to the top, learn some of the skills required to navigate such challenges themselves, and more generally, acquire the knowledge necessary to become better leaders. Of note, I may very occasionally interview a fellow male ally leader, but only to talk with them about the inspiring women leaders in their lives. Finally, what will the format of the show be? Apart from this introductory episode, the podcast is an interview show. For consistency, all of my guests will be asked exactly the same key questions. I may add in a few extra questions based on the valuable things they share with me, but the show will generally follow the same formula. Initially, the show's episodes will be released every 2 weeks on Wednesdays, also known as Hump Day. So they serve as something to look forward to and inspire you on your midweek slump. But if the demand is such that I'm asked to release them weekly, then that's certainly something I'll move towards in time. Most episodes will also be uploaded to my YouTube channel, Dr. Adam Harrison, Physician Coach, which I'm speaking on now, on the same day or thereabouts, and the fortnightly intervals as per the podcast episodes. So if you prefer to watch and listen simultaneously, you can also do that. If you do, please subscribe to this channel so you don't miss future episodes. And while you're there, please check out the rest of my channel, and hopefully you'll find some videos on similar topics to watch and enjoy. In addition, I have some exciting new group coaching programs in the pipeline, so please keep a regular eye on my website, www.dradamharrison.com, for updates. I really hope that you enjoyed the coming episodes and learn a lot from them. I'm very ambitious for the show, as I feel it will provide tremendous value to its audience. So if you like it, please give it a good rating and leave us a kind review. And if there's anything at all you don't like about it, please contact me directly with your suggestions, all of which will be taken in the kind, constructive spirit with which I'm sure you'll be shared. Wishing you all health, happiness, and inspiring leadership. Until the next episode, have a wonderful 2 weeks. Thank you.